Turn comparison into unstoppable motivation. You open your phone, see someone else succeeding, and a heavy feeling of jealousy drops into your stomach. If you let this feeling grow, it will consume your drive. Today, I will show you how to turn toxic comparison into the fuel that builds your empire. Maybe this has happened to you. It is late at night. You are scrolling through social media. You see an old friend. They have a new house. You see a coworker. They just got a big promotion. You see a stranger who is younger than you, and they are living the life you always wanted. Suddenly, your own life feels small. Your progress feels slow. You feel a bitter taste in your mouth. You want to be happy for them, but instead, you feel like you are falling behind. You think, why not me? What am I doing wrong? We call this jealousy. Most people think jealousy is a bad emotion. They feel ashamed of it. They try to hide it. But hiding it only makes the poison stronger. This silent comparison is draining your energy. It is making you quit before you even start. But what if I told you that jealousy is actually a gift? What if I told you it is a highly valuable piece of data? It is your soul screaming at you. It is revealing exactly what you want but are too afraid to pursue. In this video, we are not going to run away from this feeling. We are going to dissect it. We are going to use it as a compass to find your true path. So, before we fix the problem, we must understand why your brain is lying to you. Chapter 1. The Highlight Reel Lie. Here is the surprising truth. You are not actually jealous of that person's life. You are jealous of a movie. Imagine you are watching a film at the cinema. You see the hero win the battle. You see the beautiful wedding. You see the moment of victory. But you don't see the months of training. You don't see the boring days. You don't see the moments where the hero wanted to give up. Social media is exactly like that movie. Most people only show their main stage. They show the vacation. They show the new car. They show the smiling face. They never show the behind the scenes. They don't post a picture of their credit card debt. They don't post a video of their lonely Friday nights. They don't show the hundreds of hours of boring, hard work. The problem is that you are comparing your behind the scenes to their main stage. Think about your own day today. Maybe you woke up tired. Maybe you had a small argument with your family. Maybe you felt bored at work. That is your reality. It is messy. It is human. Then you look at your phone. You see someone who looks perfect. Your brain makes a mistake. It thinks, their whole life is like this photo. My whole life is like this mess. This is a lie. When you feel that sting of comparison, you must remember the camera. A photo is only 1 second of a person's day. It is a curated moment. It is filtered and edited. You are comparing your whole complicated life to a single, edited second of theirs. It is not a fair fight. Later in this video, I will show you how to stop the scrolling trap. But for now, I want you to realize one thing. Success is not a straight line. Everyone you admire is fighting a battle you cannot see. They have doubts, they have fears, they have bad days just like you. When you see a big win on your screen, don't let it make you feel small. Remind yourself that you are only seeing the finish line. You didn't see the miles of running that came before it. So now we understand the lie of the highlight reel. But here is the surprising part. That feeling of jealousy is actually trying to tell you something important about yourself. Chapter 2. The Mirror of Insecurity. Most learners believe jealousy is a sign that they are a bad person. You might think, I should be happy for my friend. Why do I feel this knot in my stomach? You feel guilty. You feel small. But I want to change your perspective right now. Jealousy is not a character flaw, it is a mirror. When you look at someone else and feel that sharp sting of envy, that person is acting as a mirror for your own potential. Think about it. You aren't jealous of everyone, are you? You aren't jealous of a professional mountain climber if you hate the cold. You aren't jealous of a world-famous violinist if you have no interest in music. We only feel jealousy toward people who have something we secretly want for ourselves. Here is the twist. Jealousy isn't evil, it is just a compass pointing to your goals. If you feel jealous of a friend who speaks perfect English, it's not because you want them to fail, it's because your soul is telling you, I want to speak like that too. If you feel envy towards someone starting a business, it is because you have a dream of freedom inside you that is waiting to be born. Instead of feeling ashamed, we are going to dissect that feeling. Imagine the feeling of jealousy is a GPS voice. It is saying, turn here, this is what matters to you. When you feel that heat in your chest, stop and ask yourself, what specifically am I jealous of? Is it their money? Or is it the freedom they have to travel? Is it their fame? Or is it the fact that they are brave enough to show their face on camera? Once you identify the what, the jealousy loses its power over you. It stops being a toxic emotion and starts being a map. It shows you exactly where you need to go next. Maybe you know this moment. That moment when you see someone younger than you achieving your dream. It hurts. It feels like you are too late. But that person is simply proof that your dream is possible. They are the evidence. So don't break the mirror. Look into it. Use it to see your own hidden desires. But there is a dangerous thought that often follows this feeling. It is the idea that the world is a giant cake, and if someone else takes a big piece, there is less left for you. Chapter 3: The Scarcity Myth. There is a big lie that lives in your brain. It tells you that success is like a pizza. If your friend takes 3 slices, there is less pizza left for you. If someone else gets the promotion, there is less success available in the world. We call this the scarcity myth. This myth makes you feel like life is a race with only one winner. It makes you feel like someone else's light makes your world darker. When you see a stranger succeed, your brain thinks, they took my spot, they got there first, now it's over for me. But let me tell you the truth, success is not a pizza. Success is like a fire. If I have a candle and I use my flame to light your candle, my light does not become smaller. In fact, now the room is twice as bright. There is no limit to how much light we can create. When you see someone else winning, it does not mean you are losing. In fact, their win is actually good news for you. Why? Because they are proving that it can be done. If someone else learned English in 6 months, it means the human brain is capable of it. If someone else built a business from zero, it means the opportunity exists. Think about a runner who breaks a world record. For years, everyone thought it was impossible to run that fast. But once one person does it, suddenly 5 other people do it the next month. Why? Because the limit was only in their minds. When you feel jealous, you are trapped in scarcity. You think there is a finish line and you are trailing behind. But in the real world, there are infinite finish lines. Your neighbor's beautiful garden doesn't make your grass less green. Your friend's fluent English doesn't take words out of your mouth. The world is wide. There is enough room for their success and your success to exist at the same time. So next time you see someone doing well, try to shift your thinking. Instead of saying, they took my piece of the cake, try saying, they are showing me that the cake exists. Once you stop viewing others as thieves of your success, you can finally focus on your own journey. But there is a practical problem. Even if you know this truth, your phone is constantly pushing you back into the trap. Later in this video, I will give you a tool to audit your life. But first, we need to take immediate action on your digital world. Chapter 4, The Mute Button. Most learners misunderstand their own willpower. You think you can watch other people's perfect lives all day and stay motivated. You think you are strong enough to ignore the feelings of inadequacy. But your brain is not a machine. It is a sponge. It soaks up everything you see. If you spend 2 hours every day looking at people who make you feel small, you will feel small. It is that simple. You have to take ruthless control of your digital inputs. Your phone is either a tool for your growth or a weapon against your peace. Right now, for many of you, it is a weapon. You follow accounts that don't inspire you. You follow people who make you feel like you aren't working hard enough, or that you aren't pretty enough, or that you are too old to start something new. Why are you doing this to yourself? There is a button on your screen that can change your life. It is the unfollow button. Or, if you want to be polite, the mute button. Using these buttons is not an act of hate, it is an act of self-love. It is you saying, I care about my focus more than I care about this stranger's updates. Here is a challenge for you. I want you to be brave. Pause the video right now. Open your favorite social media app. Find one account, just one, that makes you feel inadequate. Maybe it's a perfect influencer or a person from your past. Unfollow them right now. Did you do it? Notice how you feel. You might feel a little bit of fear, like you are missing out. But notice the relief. You just closed a door that was letting poison into your mind. You do not need to see the main stage of people who trigger your insecurity. You need a clean environment to build your own dreams. When you clear out the noise, you create space for your own voice. You stop looking left and right at what everyone else is doing. This is the only way to find your own rhythm. If you are always listening to someone else's music, you will never hear your own song. But once the screen is dark and the noise is gone, you are left with yourself. And that is where the real competition begins. So now we have muted the world, but there is still one person you are tempted to fight, and it's not who you think. Chapter 5, Competing with the Ghost. There is a strange reaction in the brain when we stop looking at others. When you stop comparing yourself to a stranger on the internet, your mind looks for a new rival. Often, we choose a ghost. We compare ourselves to a version of who we should have been by now. You think, if I had started learning English 5 years ago, I would be fluent today. Or, if I had saved money back then, I would be rich now. This is just another form of toxic comparison. You are comparing your real self to an imaginary ghost. This has to stop. The only rivalry that will ever make you better is the rivalry between you today and the person you were yesterday. Think about that for a moment. If you improve your English by just 1% every day, you are winning. If you learn one new phrase, you have defeated the you of yesterday. That is the only victory that matters. Most people fail because they are trying to beat someone who has a 10-year head start. They look at a fluent speaker and feel defeated. But you aren't playing the same game. They are on chapter 20 of their book. You might be on chapter 2. You cannot win a race against someone on a different track. Instead of looking at their progress, look at your own history. Look back at where you were 1 year ago. Could you understand this video a year ago? Did you have the courage to even try back then? When you shift the rivalry to yourself, the world changes. Suddenly, other people's success doesn't matter. If they go faster, good for them. If they go slower, it doesn't help you. Your only job is to be slightly better than the ghost of your past. Imagine you are climbing a mountain. If you keep looking at the person at the top, you will feel tired and weak. Your neck will hurt from looking up. But if you look down at your own feet and you see that you are higher than you were 10 minutes ago, you feel strong. You feel momentum. This is how you build a life of growth without the stress of jealousy. You become obsessed with your own progress. You become a student of your own potential. So stop chasing ghosts, stop fighting people who aren't in your race. But I know what you are thinking. This sounds good in theory, but how do I actually stop the feeling when it hits me? I have a practical answer for you. It's called the action antidote. Chapter 6, the action antidote. Most learners believe that to stop feeling jealous, they need to think differently. They try to think positive or tell themselves they don't care. But the brain is hard to trick with just thoughts. The real cure for comparison isn't a thought, it is an action. I call this the action antidote. Anxiety and jealousy live in the space between where you are and where you want to be. When you are sitting still, staring at your phone, that space feels huge. It feels like a canyon you can never cross. But the moment you start moving, the canyon starts to shrink. Jealousy is a form of passive energy. It is what happens when your ambition has no place to go. When you turn that energy into work, the jealousy disappears. It is physically impossible to be deeply focused on your own work and deeply jealous of someone else at the same time. So I want to give you a deliverable, a practical tool you can use today. It is called the comparison audit. Whenever you feel that sting of envy, I want you to grab a piece of paper and make 2 columns. In the first column, write down exactly what triggered the feeling. Be specific. Don't just say their life. Write down their ability to speak English without an accent or the way they travel every month. In the second column, write down one tiny action you can take in the next 10 minutes that moves you toward that goal. If you are jealous of their English, don't just feel bad. Go learn 5 new verbs. Go record yourself speaking for 60 seconds. If you are jealous of their fitness, go do 10 push-ups. The goal isn't to reach their level instantly. The goal is to prove to your brain that you are a builder and not just a watcher. Watchers feel jealous, builders feel motivated. When you do this audit, you take the power back. You stop being a victim of someone else's success. You become the pilot of your own progress. Later in this video, I will show you the final step to changing your identity forever. But for now, remember this: motion creates emotion. If you want to feel confident, you must act. If you want to stop feeling small, you must start building something big. Even if you start with one small brick today, you are not behind in life. You are just in the middle of your own unique process. So now we have the tools, we have the audit, we have the mute button. But there is one final thing you need to hear. It is the truth about why you are actually here, watching this video right now. You are not bad at English. You are not a failure because you feel behind. You are only human. You are living in a world that tries to make you feel small every single day. The apps in your pocket are designed to show you what you lack. The society around you is designed to make you feel like you are in a race that never ends. But I want you to take a deep breath. Think about that for a moment. You are here. You are watching this. You are trying to improve your mind and your language at the same time. That is not the behavior of someone who is failing. That is the behavior of a builder. Fluent speakers are not fearless. Successful people are not people who never felt jealous. They are simply people who looked at their jealousy and said, "Thank you for showing me what I want. Now I am going to work for it." You only need the courage to start. Stop looking at the mountain. Look at your feet. Stop looking at their screen. Look at your own page. Your story is still being written. And the best part, you are the author. If you spent the last year comparing yourself to others, let that year end today. Forgive yourself for the time you lost. You cannot change the past, but you can change the next 10 minutes. You have a light inside you that no one else has. You have a voice that the world needs to hear, even if that voice is still practicing its English. Believe in your own timing. Your harvest is coming. But you must stay in your own field to see it grow. If this lesson helped you study English differently, subscribe to Study English TV and join our community of builders. I want to see your commitment in the comments right now. Write this sentence: "I will focus on my own journey today." When you write it, you tell your brain that the comparison game is over. You have the power, you have the map. Now, go build your empire. I will see you in the next video.